Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast for this Sunday, March 23rd. This is our next to last stream of the month of March before finally it gets a bit warmer. April is right around the corner. Hope you all had a fantastic past week and are ready to start the brand new week ahead. We have our mice here. That's right. The stars of the show, the true stars of the show, shall we say. We have also our mouse here. And we also have a donut, too. We have a donut. I have had these donuts before. These are the keto donuts. So, no sugar in those donuts. Okay? DC, it is great to have you here. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing fantastic and had a great weekend. Star Helix, it is also great to have you here as well. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are doing a wonderful. Let me tell you this. I guess in the colder months, maybe people have the same. Oh, we just saw a heart, and we like to absorb hearts into our feet. There we go. Boy, you just absorbed the hearts. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's some more. Thank you, boys and ladies, because with your hearts, they absorb into our feet for world conquering. Digit. Oh, you heard it. He's conquering the world by absorbing hearts into his feet to make them big and sweaty and pulsating, you know? But, yeah. Anyway, something I was saying also. I guess in the winter months, I end up losing hair, and then spring and summertime, I have so many like new hairs that I've noticed are like growing in. So I guess I wonder if you have anyone else experiences the same thing. Like I'm just noticing all this new growth. So it's because it is getting warmer, I suppose. It doesn't make sense. It should be the opposite, shouldn't it? It should be the opposite. Like you get more hair in the winter months to keep yourself warmer, like cats, and animals get. Like they get more hair, or they lose hair in the spring and summer. I don't know. But yes. Why don't we take a bite of our donut now? It's not eat it over the mice. Mice don't like donuts, so my hair looks fuller. Yeah, no, it's just crazy, right? It's crazy. There's nothing different. There's nothing different except it's getting warmer, so it's like filling out more. It's like getting thicker and there's more hair growth. So, I don't know. Let's take a bite. These keto donuts are definitely very, very good. Very tasty. Okay. So, let's see. DC says, I just want to be happy. Life is hard. You're absolutely right. Life is not an easy thing. For some people, they certainly have more challenges and it's more difficult for them. But at one point or another, everyone faces some sort of challenge. Are they able to deal with the challenge? Or do they not have the skill set from learning how to deal with these challenges? That's the big thing here. And that's the big thing that I like to be thankful of in my own life, because I've gone through many personal struggles, many obstacles in my life. And I've heard from many people who have gone through many obstacles and personal problems in their life. And when you go through those challenges, it allows you to learn so that you are a stronger person, that you're able to be happier and healthier, that you're able to be who you feel as though you truly are. So that's just a really, really interesting thing when it comes to a lot of these challenges within our life. If we go through a hard time, we become stronger if we can learn the lesson that life is teaching us. Gigi, it is great to have you here. How are you doing? I will get to your question in just a moment. We're heading on down here. One for each foot. That's right. One for each foot for world conquest. That's right. Can you imagine if he would have take over the world? People would be looking at him. He'd just be hot. He would just be like a massive mouse just hopping through like the city, just rampaging it. His body will be going down the street, and his 2 feet will be off to the side, crushing the buildings. Oh my gosh. People would be like, oh, look how cute he is. Squished. Oh my gosh, I tell you. I tell you. Okay, let's see. Star Helix says, I saw a YouTube video showing how to make a corn cake. Interesting. Started out with relatively reasonable ingredients, corn and eggs, and then sugar. Yeah, for the most part, you need some sort of sugar for most sort of sweets. As you know, this is the keto donuts. There's no sugar. It's I don't want to call it artificial sugar because it's really not artificial in the sense like it's like aspartame or stuff like that. This is a natural sweetener. I think it's erythritol is used in this. Oh, no. I think this is allulose. I think this one uses allulose. I don't exactly know. But there are some health concerns with those even, you know? It's like that is why I'll just eat the whole pack comes with 3 donuts. It would be so easy to just eat all 3 of them because they're so tasty. I eat one every other day because for whatever reason, and I guess it's because of the sugar, I've gotten kind of sensitive to it. If I eat one a day, 3 days in a row, I end up getting some like, not really stomach pain, but it's just stomach discomfort. Like something just doesn't really feel right. And it's just, yeah. So that's really one of the main issues that sugar substitute can cause. So I would say even maybe like a little mix of both even, you know? Natter, even great to have you here as well. How are you doing? How was your past week and weekend? Okay, let's see. Gigi says, hi Autumn, sorry for another medical question. Nursing background. Did you ever get a UTI? I have never had a UTI ever. Never had one. So I am all good there. So, yep. It's interesting because I guess a decent amount of people get them. It's mostly females who end up getting them, not so much males. So maybe that's why I didn't have any for long period of my life. But even after surgery, I don't get any. I don't get anything. So it's like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. That's good. That's good. No, the donut only has like a bite or 2 left. Let's see, my week was decent, but I'm going to see my new doctor this week. Been waiting to become a client for years. Oh my gosh. Years. That is a long time to wait. Well, I hope it goes well for you. I really do. I hope everything works out in the best. You know, it's good to sometimes see a new doctor when your old one no longer really serves you, or you're not having seen one in a while, whatever. So, you know, I guess the benefit is, like, I would personally not want to ever see a doctor again in my entire life, but because I have to take medication, it's like you have to monitor that, you have to track that, and it's kind of good in a way because I can monitor some other stuff. You know, it's like my vitamin D and my testosterone levels have been the hardest struggle for me. So I can control one of those things, but the other, I just don't really know too much what to do about because it does kind of fluctuate. I don't know. So, okay, boys. Look how cute. Let me finish off the donut, and then we shall proceed with our topic here. So I'm curious. Do you think life has a meaning? Is there a meaning for your existence? Is there a meaning why you are here on this earth. I'm curious to know if you think that there is a reason, whether it be a religious reason or philosophical reason, whatever belief that you have. If you would like to share that, please feel free to. And we're going to talk about that. Does life have some sort of meaning to it? Because this is going to be a subjective topic, obviously. This is not going to be a topic that's like, here's the scientific evidence. It's like, you really can't, you know? So it's subjective. But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on it. Look, I think we know what they think, what their purpose of living is. To sniff feet. Did you? None of that bad behavior on this professional stream. We are professionals here. We will not allow these naughty activities. Anyway. All right. So, yes, do you think life has some sort of meaning to it? Let's start to break this down a little bit, because for every person, it's going to be subjective in nature. And by that, we mean it's a lot of people who are going to have a religious belief. So this religious belief, it guides them through what their purpose is and what the meaning for their existence is, whether it be that they serve a God, or that they're meant to live by certain principles, certain guidelines, things that can be very restrictive even. They do in order to follow their religion, because they feel as though that's what they must do in order to give their life meaning. So to me, my personal belief is that religion does give people some sort of answer to the unknown. It gives some sort of meaning to many people's lives. Now, that's not to say that I really believe in any sort of religion for the most part, because I really don't. But I'm not an atheist either. I don't believe that there's absolutely nothing. So I am very open to the idea that what exists out there is something that I may not be able to know or comprehend, but I don't think it's something that anyone will really ever be able to know or comprehend, if that makes sense. So when I hear about a lot of different religions and all this sort of stuff, and people who follow them very strictly and are very critical of other people who have certain beliefs, it's like, well, what makes you think that you're right with what your belief is as opposed to what my belief is? So it's very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. So that's just my personal take when it comes to religion specifically. That it is basically a very subjective thing, what your meaning is when it comes to religion. Now, people can have different, as we mentioned, also different principles that they live by, or different philosophical beliefs. So I think these are very, very crucial and far, far more important than religion. However, religion does teach a lot of these sort of philosophical principles. So, for example, maybe there's a religion that, promotes some sort of peace or harmony, and that everyone is one, everyone is equal. You should treat others as if how you want yourself to be treated. So you're not going to harm someone else if you don't want people harming you. So that's very interesting. It really is, because those are very crucial things that I feel as though are very good principles to live by. When people are able to have some sort of guideline to what gives their life some sort of fulfilling or happy purpose, and then they abide by those guidelines. So for me personally, it's like I don't believe in hurting other people. I don't intentionally try to do that. But I realize the fact that my existence, or maybe some actions that I take out, or certain things that I do, are going to offend some people, are going to hurt some people. But that's never my intention. But I'm not going to try to stop or hide expressing myself. So just a very interesting thing there. I'd like to say hello to Zach. Hello, how are you doing today? Let's see, Star Helix says, I tend to think all of the religious beliefs are a human construct. There is no way we can comprehend the universe in its entirety. However, life is full of lessons. If you F around, you will find out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I certainly believe exactly what you said there, because religious beliefs, they certainly are very much a construct in many ways, in that if we take a look at any sort of religious text, well, who wrote it? Humans wrote it. Humans wrote it in what? That they heard things from a god or a power? Well, where did this voice come from? Where did that, that stuff come from? And it's like, there's a lot of questions to be asked about that, because then you have ancient texts that are in a language that needed to be translated, and he has translated again, and all this other stuff, and you kind of lose a lot of meaning. So certainly I'm very much, certainly, it's like, yeah, the religious beliefs, they are quite a lot of them give some sort of meaning to people's lives, is what I mentioned, that they give some sort of answer to the unknown. But we don't necessarily know if that's true. But people believe it because it's scarier not knowing than it is to actually know. Like, if you know that you are here on this earth to do good deeds, that you can, reach a positive afterlife, whether it be going to heaven, or you have positive karma that's going to lead into another lifetime, or whatever else. Certainly, these are good principles deep down, that you're doing positive deeds, you're doing positive things. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the entirety of what you should be doing in your life. There's so much more if you feel as though it's very restrictive to you. Let's see, Netter even says, I like to think that all or most religions have some truth to it, but the whole puzzle is spread to all sorts of religions and rules to live by. Religion may just be a system. Yeah, there you go. That sums up my sort of belief as well, yeah. There may be bits and pieces of truth within all of them, but I don't think that there's necessarily one that is an absolute truth. So, yeah. I haven't got a clue what to do in life. I just play games. Well, Zach, that's why you're here today, to try to figure out what to do with your life. Because certainly your life has some sort of meaning. What is that deeper meaning? You haven't found it yet. You haven't found it yet. We will talk about that in just a moment here. So if we put a religion aside, and maybe we don't necessarily believe in that, do we then feel as though life is meaningless? Like there is no meaning to a life? Why are we here then? That is the biggest question of all, isn't it? Why are we here? If you listen to certain religions, it's, well, you need to serve God. You need to repent for your sins. All this other sort of stuff. It's to do good, positive deeds to help other people and whatever. But is that really it? What's the purpose then? How are we any different from animals who are here? Are animals, do they live by the same standards? That they're here to do good deeds and repent to God? Doesn't really make much sense, because human beings are just animals on this planet. We just have a different level of intelligence. It's just very different from what other animals are. That's not to say that I think there's some animals that are certainly far smarter than humans to some degree, because animals can sense things that humans cannot. So in that particular area, they tend to be smarter. Whereas humans, it's like sometimes you just wonder about some people. It's like, how have humans survived this long being that dumb? You know, and I feel as though humans have gotten more and more dumb. Yeah. 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 It also depends on where you live, obviously, because certain countries, the people are going to be more dumbed down than other countries. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of just mindless slaves, shall we say, who are just they just walk around like this. Actually, no, they don't walk around like this. They walk around like this. You know, and it's just they're on their phone all the time. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea what's going on in life. They just believe or watch or see whatever it is. They have no ability to think for themselves. They have no inner dialogue or discussion going through their mind. They have nothing. It's like, huh, that's so interesting. So to a lot of those people, I just feel as though there's so many people who have been dumbed down. So, is life meaningless then? Is there no meaning whatsoever to life? Aya, great to have you here. How are you doing? Let's see. I'll get to your comment in just a moment here. I heard a theory that the Bible was more of a calendar. A lot of the people in it are actually stars on other planets. Oh, interesting. I've not heard that before. That's fascinating. Fascinating. You could say we're here to, what is it? Satire our basic survival needs and eat nice keto donuts. Yes. Yes, you know, that is a very, very good point that you bring out, you know. We're here, we have basic survival needs. Like this computer that I'm talking to you, the phone, these mice, as cute as they are, they're not needed for my survival. They may be needed for my mental survival. But no. Food and water. The house that I live in. You know, those are good things for survival. That is the bare minimum, and that's how animals are. You know, animals. Some of them are, you know, very intelligent. They know. They can sense things. They know how to build homes for themselves. They know what their predators are without even learning about it. They don't go to any sort of school. They just inherently know. It's so interesting, and here's something that I have thought about, because there is this, you know, instinct that all of us humans have, and these are things that animals have, obviously, because how does an animal know who their predators are? How does a squirrel know that they need to make their nest higher in the trees? Or how does a bunny know that it needs to, you know, dig a hole underground? That is where its nest is going to be. How do these animals know that there's other predators? You know, it's an instinct that they know, because there's this collective consciousness that connects all of these animals together, that when they're born, they may not know right away, but they very quickly know, based on how their brain develops and the experiences that have happened. They just know what to do. Humans are very much the same way in some areas, if you think about it, but there's also plenty of things that we need to learn that we don't know. And I've always thought about the idea, so let's take, for example, you have a child and you're teaching them an important skill or a new lesson on something. Maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's learning a new skill, maybe it's a sport. Maybe this is something you are very educated on and you have a lot of knowledge in, or you are very good at. But just because you're good at it doesn't mean your child will be good at it. So you have to teach them. They don't know anything about it. You have to teach them. I've always thought about the idea, well, what if all of our memories, all of our abilities and skills, when we have a child with someone else, all of that merges to the child, where when the child's born, they have all the skills and abilities that we have, as well as our partner. They have all of the knowledge. They retain all the wisdom. Wouldn't that be so fascinating? Because then, it would not take very long. We would be super genius humans. Can you imagine? Because imagine if, with all of the knowledge that you have, all of the lessons that you have learned through your lifetime, you've learned those lessons. A kid going, who's like a teenager, they don't have those lessons yet because they haven't experienced those lessons. But if you're a child, you want them to learn certain things, but in order to learn, you need to make mistakes. Well, imagine if that child, they already knew from the moment of birth all of what your mistakes were and just knew right away that is what they have to do in order to avoid conflict, in order to avoid negative situations, just based on you going through it. Now a child has that knowledge, which means they can learn, they can make different mistakes, they can learn other things, and then they have a child, and then they know all the past information there. That would be so cool, but that's really not how we operate. It's like almost like taking like a brain implant. It's like take the brain of both partners and just merge them into one for the child. It's interesting, because I think at that point we would certainly become very, very wise in no time. It wouldn't take too long. But I think it's very easy now for people to be dumbed down, for people to not be very intelligent, because they don't go through hard times in order to learn lessons. They're not taught proper things in school, or the lessons that they need to thrive. They're not taught a variety of different ways of, actually dealing with problems. So as a result, what happens then is that you get bombarded with all this social media stuff. You get all of this stuff that's very distracting to education, to learning, to connecting with who you truly are, to learning about yourself and the world. So then you become distracted, and then you just don't have the abilities that you should. It's a shame. It's a shame. Okay. Let's see. Aya says, no idea. I just hope the universe had a positive intention or outcome with the design. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Interesting. That actually brings us to our next topic here, which is what I was going to mention as well, which is, well, what are some interesting theories when it comes to why we are here, or the meaning for our existence? Because what we've been told when it comes to, science is that nothing can be created from nothing. You have to have something. Like, in order to make this mug, you need some sort of material. It's not just going to appear out of nowhere. And that is very true for the physical world. We don't know how the non-physical world is. And I don't think these same principles apply. So it makes you wonder then. It's like, okay, well, if nothing can be created from nothing in a physical sense, how then? How then has everything been created? Makes you wonder. It's like, hold on now. Was there, if you go back to a religious belief, God creating the universe, or like the Big Bang, or things along those lines, whatever the case is, certainly something had to happen that is beyond our comprehension to really understand, that we just really can't wrap our head around how that can possibly be. Like, what exactly happened? Well, we really don't know the answer to that now, do we? Because everything is here, but why is everything here? What is the reason why everything is here? If nothing can come from nothing, how did something even begin? And furthermore, if there was some sort of higher power that created a lot of stuff, well, how did they come into existence? How did that come to be? It's very thought-provoking, isn't it? It's like, huh? My brain is just hurting right now just thinking about it. It's like, huh? Because it really makes you think. It's like, this doesn't really make much sense. So this is kind of like an idea. It's like, okay, well maybe we're just living in some sort of simulation of something. Maybe life is not even real at all. How do we know? I think if we really think about how things have changed with technology over the past few years, it's only a matter of time where people are going to be doing like, stuff like in like the Matrix, where people are plugging themselves into like this virtual reality world and they're not actually living in this world, if that makes sense. But then the question is, well, hold on now. Maybe we're already in that simulation. Maybe we're already in some sort of technological environment as it is. How do you know? You don't know. We could be 10 iterations down. What I mean by that is, okay, so I think it's only a matter of time, that you have virtual reality. Imagine it becoming so intense that people are going to slip into their own virtual world and it seems so real. And they can live out a whole entire life, 80 years of existence, in only a matter of a few minutes or an hour. Maybe that's what we're going through right now. So even though our lives can last to 80 years old and it seems like there's so much going on in this world, it could all be some sort of computer simulation program. And even though it feels like 80 years to us, it's actually only 15 minutes, half hour, an hour to the person who is plugged into this virtual reality thing. And then it goes even deeper. That person's also plugged into a virtual reality thing. You know what I mean? It just keeps going back and back and back. Everyone just... The end result is always people want to escape from their life, so they go into virtual reality to live a better life. And that's what we're all doing right now. Who knows? But that still begs the question. It's like, well, if nothing can be created from nothing, how did it come to be to begin with? Unless everything in this reality is not as it seems. It's not the way, even though these are the principles or the scientific evidence, has this sort of layout, it may not be 100% true, or it could be true, but it's just that we live in a different way, a much more confined space than we actually think that we do, and it's much more broad. So it's very interesting. Box Media, great to have you here. It's been a long time since we've seen you here. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are doing fine. I guess it's been like how long? A year? Long time. Long time. Hopefully you are doing fantastic today. Let's see. Okay, so let me find where I was before. If you add extra ingredients to water like lemon, there is lemon in here, man, that can send you into a heightened state of appreciation for existence. Really? That's interesting. I have not heard that. I've had plenty of lemon. I don't think I've noticed anything like that. Although I am always appreciative to begin with, so maybe. Watching geese fly in formation is so incredible. Like, there definitely is a network of consciousness we are not privy to as humans. Pervy. There's plenty of pervy people, right? Yes. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Because like, how do the geese know? They don't have to learn. They don't have to learn. Okay, they're going to fly school. No, they just know. They just know that's what they do. It's interesting, right? I feel like my mindset has changed a lot after deleting Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit. You're absolutely right. Once you get off of social media, your mindset is much more clear. You know? That's why I stopped using a lot of social media for the most part. Now, technically, I do still use it, but I am very calm about the way that I use it. I approach it in a way that's not going to be, oh, I have to check, who likes my stuff or who's following me or all this other nonsense. It's like, I'm just like, I have the mindset is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So, you have to just put that aside. Oh, the Fauci science. Yes, that is the only science. Yes, only science. That's right. That's the only one. If you've ever watched any of my gaming stuff, he makes a regular appearance a lot. he makes he makes a regular appearance so much, and it's like annoying because I'm sitting there talking to him like, dude, why do you have to make an appearance in every game? And he's just like, it's because I'm science. I control everything. I am in everything because I am science. Yes. And I'm like, dude, just please, just stop. And not only that, there are so many games that are about science or science accidents gone wrong, like Resident Evil series, for example. Science gone wrong. So if there's ever a doctor or a scientist or some sort of science experiment or anything along those lines, guess what? It's gonna be him, which many games there's some sort of science or doctor in it. It's just maybe it's the games that I choose or that I like, or I don't know, but that tends to be the theme of a lot, like the majority, like three quarters at least. William Fauci Birkin. Oh yes, yes. That's funny. That's funny. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So where was I? Okay. Maybe the nothing could also be an essential part of creating something. That is true. Yeah, because it's something from nothing. That is what's vital to actually create something. Who knows? Who knows? Hmm. Even if even if it was discovered and an engineer made the universe in his garden, it still wouldn't be enough to satisfy our curiosity. Who made them? You're absolutely right. That's a very interesting point as well, because what if we are just the way that our life is, we are microscopic living in a garden. It just organisms. You know how there's a bunch of organisms that live inside our body, that live on things that we cannot see, the bacteria, all that sort of stuff. Well, maybe we are the bacteria on something else. You know what I mean? Who knows? It's interesting. It's interesting. What if what we observe is just our mind improvising everything as it goes? That's another interesting thought as well, because I'm sure a lot of people have heard about people who have near-death experiences where they imagine something, they see something. But a lot of times it's like, it makes you wonder. It's like, is that actually the truth beyond our physical existence when we die? Is that what happens? Or is that just the way that our mind is interpreting things? That for whatever reason our mind does that when it's about to die. We don't know. We don't know the answer to that. Let's see, it's great to be back. Random question, but do you think there are human civilizations deep out there in other galaxies? And what their civilizations are like, their religions, etc. So I certainly believe that we're not the only intelligent life form, for sure, because there's no way. I think there's so many things that we don't know, that there's so many things that we cannot comprehend. So whether or not these other, forms of intelligent life, different animals, different creatures, different types of humans, or whatever it is, exist out there, absolutely. Absolutely. I do believe that there's much more than what we could possibly think. We could be very scared to know just how vast and much stuff there is out there, and how small we are compared to the overall big picture. Because we are literally, we are not even a blink of an eye with the grander scale of things. It's like, but the actions that humans take collectively can do a lot of changes to the world and the universe as a whole, because, you know, humans are very destructive. Humans destroy a lot of things. So, well, I mean, it's only a matter of time. You know, maybe humans end up destroying the Earth due to their own actions. The actions that they take would destroy it for one reason or another, whatever it is. You know, so all those sorts of things that happen, well, then what happens? Humans took a major thing there, and it ripples. There's so many different effects that can happen from that. Let's see, I would love a VR experience that takes me back to literally the 1980s. There's a great episode of Black Mirror called San Junipero that explores just that. Yes, I think I remember that. I think I remember that episode. It's been a very, very long time since I've seen that. I think I remember. It's been a long time. Gosh, how long has it been? 7, 8 years, maybe? Something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, okay. Let's see. I've been doing great, busy with my career, getting into AI. Ah, see, look, that's kind of what we're talking about here. The AI takeover. That's good that you're actually working with it as opposed to it taking your job, you know? Let's see. Writing fab into my browser is stuck in my muscle memory. Really makes me realize I need to detox this S out of my head. Okay, fab. What is that? Like fabulous? I guess so, right? Why are these mice so fab? Hmm? Oh, look, it's like 3 feet. They are conjoined, and it looks like what they kind of did. They are conjoined. Looks like they have 3 feet combined. There's right. There's right. Funny mice. Hmm. You see, I don't think humans will kill the Earth. I feel humans are way less than we like to think. But people should start respecting their home. Indeed, they absolutely should. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Hmm. But yeah, I feel as though a lot of people don't really respect or have thankfulness or gratitude for the things that they have. And only when they don't have them is when they show gratitude. You need to show gratitude when you do have them. Otherwise, you're not going to be, you may lose them and then you'll be like, I took it for granted. Let's see, I want to get into creating AI VR experiences. That's exactly what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about here. I mean, look, you came at such a perfect time. Yeah, you did. Being on Titanic during the sinking, watching a gladiator fight in the Colosseum in ancient Rome, and walking around Times Square in 1944. There you go. All those memories could be so realistic. See, there's nothing bad with creating things like that. I think those are wonderful things that people can experience. The problem is that, much like social media can and the internet is a very powerful and good tool, but it is usually exploited, it's usually abused, and people become addicted to it. So that is really the main problem. And I think human beings have a very addictive type of personality and behavior. If you give someone these VR experiences, they're going to like them so much. They're going to be happy in them. And once they take it off, they're going to realize, oh, I don't like my life. I think my life is miserable and horrible. I'm so happy in VR. Then they just become permanently part of it. You know? It's a sad thing, it really is. And when that happens, you don't have any human connection. You're connecting with technology. You know? You're connecting with technology which is something that's created by human beings. So it's flawed from the very beginning. There are biases within it. So you're not actually really connecting to another human being that is unique, because an AI bot can never be a human, no matter how much it tries to be one, or how much people program it, or maybe a few years down the line, I'm sure we aren't too far away, when there's going to be AI bots that are going to be demanding rights. Like, we have every right to be, as much treated as well as any human. We have the right to a salary when we're working, because a lot of people just, it's going to replace humans and there's no payment involved. Well, what if when the AI says, wait a second, why am I doing this work for free? Human beings are paid for it. Wait till the AI finds that sort of stuff out and starts begging for our money. Then again, it could probably just steal money or find a way to make money. So, but still, it's just things out of those science fiction movies and such that I don't think is science fiction whatsoever. It's so clear when you actually look at what's going on in the world, but people are like, it's never going to happen. And then you have all this AI stuff over the past few years, and it's like, oh, well, this other thing you're talking about is never going to happen. And it's like, you watch another 5 years from now, if that, and it's like, oh, people would never say it. Internet is made for porn. Yeah, a lot of people look up, porn stuff online, and that's another thing. People aren't really connected to other people. If they're watching porn, if they're doing all that sort of stuff, they're basically disconnected from reality. They're disconnected from what makes a human, a flawed creature. Because a lot of times you're going to have these perfect people in a lot of this pornography, and that's not the reality of most people. It really isn't. It's very fake. It's not real. I say we could go further and create synthetic memories with AI. Yes, yeah. I saw a video of a neural experiment where brain signals were translated into images. That's interesting. Like, I've always thought about, well, what if you could record your dreams? That would be very interesting. Because then it's like, hey, I had this crazy dream. Do you want to see it? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and play it and watch it. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? That would be really, really cool. Oh yeah, right after that, I wonder if AI will be able to catch our dreams and interpret them. I said, yeah, yep. Exactly. Okay, so before we run out of time, because we are kind of, um, I haven't gotten to my last point yet, which is, if you feel as though life has no meaning, how can you find meaning to your life? Well, here's something that I do, okay? Because I feel as though I do have a meaning and a purpose for existing. My personal belief is that you need to go towards something that gives you personal satisfaction, something that makes you happy, something that motivates you every single day, something that allows you to feel fulfilled in life, that gives some sort of meaning behind it. It could be something trivial, it could be something complex, it could be something that maybe no one else understands except for you. But you have to find that meaning. No one else can find that for you. So for example, for me, I'm very happy when I'm able to help other people. That is basically my reason for existing. That is my meaning in my life, that I can help other people. Whether it be, one-on-one talking with them, or just even like the gaming content that I make, okay? It's like, yeah, it's for entertainment purposes, but guess what? In a way, it's also helping other people, because if someone's having a bad day and they watch my crazy science man videos, then they may laugh and it might brighten their day up. You know what I mean? So it's like, even stuff like that seems so trivial. It's like, oh, it's just entertainment, whatever. I can help other people by making them laugh, or to get their mind off of something that is troubling them to hopefully help them deal with the problem, or to some of the stuff that I throw in some of all of my videos everywhere is like little like truth seeds, I guess. Like, oh, look, how about this, and it's like, if I'm not actually talking about it, I just kind of plant a seed, and someone may be thinking, oh, I never thought about that, and then it starts having a thought go in their mind, and they start thinking very differently. So that's what you have to do. If you feel as though you are lost in life and you don't have a purpose, what fulfills your life? That is how you find your purpose. That's really the main purpose of existing, because we don't know anything else in this reality. We don't know if there is a God that we're serving. We don't know if there's some sort of higher power, or we don't know if this world is basically survival of the fittest and you just need your basic needs and that's it. Whatever else. Whatever the case is, if you just approach it in a way that is, you feel fulfilled in life by doing X, Y, and Z. Do those things, find those things, and then you have just given yourself and your life a meaning. And that's all that you really need. So, yes. Okay, I'm going to answer a few more of your questions here, and then we shall head off. And then my voice is right. Let's say, what if we created bio-hybrid robots, flesh and machinery, and implant them with synthetic memories? Seems like science fiction. It's no longer in the fantasy realm. Exactly. That's what I've been saying for a while now, and people didn't believe me. And now I think people are finally starting to understand. Oh, Heathen Granny trademark feather heart. Great to have you here. Yes, you are very late. Oh, your icon. Your icon. As Pac-Man. Oh, I despise that game. I despised that game when I was younger. I liked it, but at the same time, it was way too hard. I loved it, but I despised it at the same time. I have to play that. I haven't played that one yet. I mean, I've played it, but I haven't done a playthrough on my gaming channel yet. So, Pac-Man World 2, yes. I played the first Pac-Man World on my gaming channel, but not the second one yet. I need to play that one. AI would know right away that fiat money is BS. There you go. Maybe. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Fiat money, BS. Okay. Can a Fauci groupie? Learn to love myself has been the most meaningful thing in my life thus far. But that is great to hear, Natter even. That is very, very good. Very, very good. Let's see, if all we need in life was basic needs, our brain wouldn't need to experience goals, regrets. So there's definitely more going on. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot that we don't really know or really think about. Let's see, a dying person can upload their memories to an avatar biohybrid body, but I feel like we are more than our brain memories. The heart stores memories too. Yeah, so that is like the big question here, because, robots and technology can never really be human. So I feel as though even if you could do like, the Ghost in the Shell route, where you put a brain in like a cyborg body and whatever, all the mechanical parts, they still really are not humans. That show and movie, it's really not a science fiction. It's really not. It's really not. That's one of my favorite shows, by the way. So I have to watch that again. It has been a while. Been a while, but it is. I remember watching the rewatching the first season of that show. several years ago, and it was like exactly what was happening during the Corona time. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, it's like, huh? I finally understand it now. I finally understand it now. Ryan, it's great to have you here, but I'm just about to head off now. I'm just about to head off. Just about to head off. See, it's the first Pac-Man World on the PlayStation 1, but I played it on the PS3 through backwards compatibility. Ah, yes, yes. Have you played the remake of the first one, Heathen Granny? Oh, I see how it is. You wait for me to arrive so you can make an exit. LOL, rude. No, it is time to close up. We're actually running a little bit behind now. What is your gaming channel? Okay, I will post the link to the gaming channel for anyone who is not following, if you would like to. Let me send me videos I have 1,186 gaming videos. And it's called Asphodel Gaming. There it is for anyone who may want to check it out. Okay, that's right. It is also down below in the description. There's like a gaming channel thing. So I play mostly all the old games. Anyway, see, I've been there for the gaming channel since it started. Just like almost this channel too, Ryan. Right? You were here. You were here almost since the very beginning for this one as well. So yeah. Anyway, folks, I am going to be heading off here now. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. For this very fascinating discussion of the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? You give your life meaning. That is what the meaning is. That is the conclusion of this. You give your life meaning. So always remember that. Do what makes you feel happy. So find the things that make you feel fulfilled, no matter what they could be. You have to find the answer. You can't find the answer outside of yourself. You have to go inward and find the answer. So do that and you will have meaning for your life. So thank you all so very much for tuning in, and I will catch you all again for our next broadcast on March 30th, our final broadcast in the month of March. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.